goddamn Robert. We live.
Big ass titties.
Titties, big ass titties. We live.
Grown titties.
Grown woman
Grown up
titties.
titties.
Scratch marks, kid titties.
Tax-paying titties.
You gotta come on because it's recording. You making noise.
Sorry, I didn't realize that the cord was gonna make noise.
This nigga was on the show and did not pay attention. It's great.
I reject that.
Rejected.
Rejects and dropping thunderduns. Y'all just got all the West Coast rap lines today, huh? Robert fucking Kelly.
Oh God.
That's, I guess, the best way.
Just the best fucking way to lead in. Let's dive into this shit. Robert fucking Kelly. Surviving R. Kelly.
That's not the name. The name is Enabling R. Kelly.
Like
That's
a
what
motherfucker.
it's called Enabling R. Kelly.
Enable.
It's R. Kelly and Friends, and it was like, you know,
facilitating
like Wonder Rape Powers
child
Activate, like
for R. Kelly.
That shit was the... Okay. It's gone on too long. Like, I've never celebrated the demise of a black man in my life. I am celebrating the fact that, like, even today I seen that the Chicago studio, they're evicting him out of there. Like,
Good.
and if you haven't seen the documentary, you probably live under a rock in a really, really white neighborhood.
I don't even know, like, you just choosing not to.
Yeah, like R. Kelly is a child molester and a rapist, for those who don't know. For those that are tardy to the party.
Oh shit! What?
Drain and stain on the black community, so no one should feel any guilt about his demise.
No, without a doubt. I just think that I don't know. Like, I've never cheered for the demise of a black man, but I'm actually happy to see this happen. I'm happy this is coming to light. I'm happy that these women are being heard. I even listened to we were listening a little bit of Lisa Van Allen on the Breakfast Club, and she was just saying, like, she's gotten overwhelming support, and, like, I'm happy to see that this is happening. Like, salute John Legend, salute everybody that took part in this. Like, yeah, it's just it really needed to happen, and I'm just glad it did. Like, I'm just so, but I think it's like this is representative of such a big issue in the black community. I think it's overlooked, swept under the rug, and I think it's just a part of, like, a toxic being that we have that, like, as like a toxicity as an existence that, like,
I'm 1,000% over that, like, that whole celebrating the downfall of a black man. Like, I'm not obligated to take, like, to defend my, like, pieces of shit. Like, you piece of shit,
Right.
that ain't got nothing to do with you being black. Like,
Nothing.
you did really fucked up things. You're a fucked up individual. Like, and I get, like, I know, like, there was, like, I don't know, there was this recent video that came out of, like, his brother, and at one point R. Kelly was a victim, and, you know, somebody took advantage of him and fucked up his mindset, because that shit's been posted everywhere and shit. That was true once upon a time. R. Kelly a monster motherfucker now, like, and I don't
no, it's still true to this day, but both of those things can live in validity. You can be a victim and also be a victimizer. Like, don't get shit wrong. Like,
I'm not using that as, like, a way to, like, justify his bullshit no more. And to what you were saying, like, yeah, like, this is a terrible thing that happened, but I feel like when you, like, even when you watch the shit on, like, the documentary, and, like, the fucking women in line was like, he been the way he been forever.
Yeah.
that is a horrible thing to hear anyone even fucking
that's
say.
That's like what you were saying, like, to tie it into just, you know, let's get everybody, let's bring everybody here to the table. Everybody got that uncle or that cousin or that whoever the fuck that you don't go around him. Nah, man, how about we kill this motherfucker and then drop him off at the police department in that order?
Quickest way to do it.
Like, you have in our community, you have fucking predators sitting across the fucking Thanksgiving table from the motherfuckers that they fucked up.
Like, you got to pass mashed potatoes to your uncle from the back room.
Bruh.
Like, that's some sick shit.
And then all of a sudden that girl fast or that boy is touched. No, nigga, the motherfuckers were abused and you just sat there and let it happen because that was Big Mama's favorite son. Fuck him.
And the fucked up part about it is Big Mama's favorite son probably was molested by Big Mama's brother or Big Mama's boyfriend, or there was somebody that did something to him. And then it's not an excuse to then abuse other people, but I think that we do have to think about how that impacts people psychologically, and then when they do become abusers themselves, how that cycle can continue when you choose to never address it. R. Kelly did not have to become R. Kelly.
Nope.
But because no one did anything when he was a victim, that's what happens. So when you don't protect your kids, and protection is not just, I'm going to keep it from happening to you, because as a parent, it's an unfortunate truth that you can't stop everything. Sometimes something may happen to your kid, but how you deal with it is everything. You wanting to just pretend like it never happened, you wanting to just go, oh, well, we'll just keep him away from Uncle so-and-so or Auntie so-and-so, is not how you help your child get over something like that and prevent them from doing it to somebody else.
But again, to me, that's so rooted in the toxicity of like black, like, I'm not saying like all, but like the toxic parts of the community is like, is rooted in that. It's rooted in protecting the parent, and you don't want to be a bad parent and don't want to accept that you've failed at a part of your job in protecting your child. If that happens, you don't want to accept that, like, just the reality of all of this. Like, your child is supposed to be the idea of the mentally strong, and like that happens to you, and you got it, like, you're supposed to just get over that. Like, that's not how that happens. That is a jarring fucking event. That is scarring. That is like, that is a terrible thing. So it's like this idea in the black community of just, and to me, I guess I'm linking that more to like mental health and things such as that. It's like, if that does happen to the child, you can't just don't go past the back bathroom. That's not the help that they need. That, like, your child, even after that, like, anyone who encounters that, anybody who encounters that, you need help, like mental, like, you need therapy. You need a lot of things to bounce back from that. And that, even the idea of that, like the recovery from it, I think the process of how to recover from it is even frowned upon in our community. Like, that's just a part of our toxicity. Like, the whole, like, just the whole cycle of it. Like,
I guess that's why I'm trying to change the way it's talked about, by saying, like, don't view yourself as a failure of a parent if something like that happens to your child. But when you choose not to protect them thereafter, like when you choose to make your way to recover, don't go past the bathroom, or we're not going to go over their house anymore, and you never address the trauma that your child endured, then you are a failure. Now you fail to protect your child, because you're not an omniscient being. You're going to miss some shit. Some shit can happen when your back is turned. Yeah. But you cannot then choose to keep your back turned once you know it happened, and leave your child out to dry, and then leave your child to become R. Kelly.
I think you even failed prior to, like, R. Kelly shit, I think might have been like, the way the story looks, like, nobody knew. I think you failed ahead of time when you just was like, stay away from him. No, nigga, like, get him the fuck out the gym, bro. Like, he shouldn't be around here. You just saying, like, oh, hey, he different. Stay away from him. Why is he still, like, in this, you know, like why is he around?
Wait, who, R. Kelly? Or?
No, like, when in the black community, when it's like, you know, they just tell you, don't be around him by yourself.
Right.
Why is he even here? Like, you setting yourself, you a failure if you say that.
Well, if you
don't
say
get him
that
up
from
out
the
of here.
beginning, yeah, something is deeply wrong with you.
All that shit trash. But yeah, like, the whole time I was watching, it's like, clearly R. Kelly has been a weird piece of shit. And
yeah, like, even the authoritative figures throughout Chicago, kill yourself fast.
Yeah, like,
right
the whole
now.
time I'm watching this, I was like,
like, people who were a part of the police department was like, yeah, R. Kelly would be at McDonald's.
Yeah. He was walking up
handing out Happy Meals.
Look, no shit.
He only had girl toys though.
They set that little precious black woman in that wheelchair in front of that camera and thought that I was about to feel sorry. Bruh, I don't feel sorry, because, ma'am, you are a teacher. You are a mandated reporter.
I told Robert,
all the
don't give me no bullshit.
And you sitting there telling me that you had all these private conversations with Robert about how he shouldn't be hanging around no kids, but you ain't called 911 and report to nobody that a grown man who has no reason to be on this campus is hanging around your students.
You know how much of a piece of shit you got to be?
I'm sorry.
To be a piece of shit past the Lifetime scary music?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a piece of shit and I'm listening to the bum, 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 like, they went from scary
the piano
to
when
they
get the piano and the piano don't get sympathy.
I'm looking like y'all still trash. It was like they would get the deep close-ups and the teary eyes, and I knew when he walked up to the school in them bonnet draws and that whole trench coat full of candy. I
Something
thought
was
to myself
wrong.
as I kept the car running, maybe I should say something to somebody. Fuck you, dog. I hope you burn with him. Like,
Yeah,
There's
that's
just-
a.
And I don't mean it in like a harsh, judgmental way. I just mean like,
I do.
God.
You don't, because I'm gonna mean it twice for you and me. Then.
Yup.
Like,
I'm doubling
I don't
down.
want
Boom,
it to
boom.
be
Yeah,
like-
boom, boom, motherfucker.
I don't know. I'm not trying. Because like I said, like we just said, some people just learn a lot of bad shit and you don't unlearn it. Like you grew this old ass woman. She's from a time probably where that was the best she thought to do was to tell somebody, don't come around here no more.
But again, like that's what I'm saying. Is like
That's-
in the reality of it, we are in
the problem.
2019 and we are still
Perpetuating it.
not even that. It's 2019 and these black women are still not being heard. Can you imagine when this old black woman in 1990 whatever went to somebody and told them that more black women were in? They probably in the reality of it, they probably nothing happened.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I when I say I don't want to come off like I'm judging her or judging people all harshly, when I know that people sometimes are doing the best that they know how to do because we just come from generations of fucked up shit. But still, like
big ass butt, ass shots.
big
I'm
fat
judging.
ass
Hey,
butt.
look, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm judging all y'all. I don't even like the word 18 on my pornographic movies, so I don't.
Yeah, I only want teen. Like I
Yeah,
don't want
like-
a 19, 20
Trash.
teen.
Like,
Your ass needs
All
to be
these-
20. You need to be if you can't buy a bottle and pull up, don't talk to me.
bruh, like that's.
Period.
I took like R. Kelly.
Period.
What time frame R. Kelly had been accused and doing all these things and peed on people. So I took my daughter to his concert and let her get on stage with him,
Yeah,
and
those
then go
parents,
backstage.
I don't have no butt for
and I
those
was like,
parents.
"Oh my god, he did some weird
Yo.
stuff to my daughter."
Wait a minute.
Then
if
she
I was the
drove-
person taking tickets,
Fam.
I'd be like, yo,
bruh,
yeah, I know this ain't the Millennium Tour night, right? The Millennium Tour tomorrow.
nigga, like
The Millennium Tour tomorrow. This is a R. Kelly show. Oh no. We know.
nobody anywhere.
Yeah.
But she's 17 though. Yeah, it's her 17th birthday. We brought her to R. Kelly. See him do what?
Like, to make it even more disturbing, it's your father's birthday. As a father, on my birthday, I don't want to see my 17-year-old daughter on stage with no 41-year-old man slanging his dick around her face and singing Bump and Grind. Like, that's not a happy birthday.
Yeah, like,
They should have went up there and said, "Look,
like, can you imagine?
What-
TJ come to
what
the
the
crib.
fuck
What y'all
kind of
do?
birthday
What
is
y'all do
this?
last night for your birthday, man? We took the kids to the Kale's concert. Baby girl got up there and R. Kelly did his thing.
That's just, I don't
I
understand
can't even
nothing
fake
about
laugh
that.
at that."
I don't
Yeah,
understand
like-
nothing
No,
about
no.
that.
It wasn't supposed to be a laugh at thing.
like-
I
like-
really wanted the look you were supposed to give me in that if I would have
like-
told you that at the house.
Yeah. Ezreal's parents just need to do better.
Ah!
They were very trash as parents. I don't know what the fuck that was about.
You failed, my nigga.
That was-
Them and them goddamn savages.
Them
The
parents
savages is that nigga was up there with that Bluetooth. It made me so mad.
Yeah. them
Goddamn
too.
savages.
Bro had two different
That
types of
man
braids
strolled
on.
into
They
your
can't hold in
boutique,
that goddamn
And
suit.
instead of you escorting him off the premises, you thought, hey, I got a 19-year-old daughter that want to sing. What?
I'm not introducing nobody to R. Kelly. Like nobody.
Bro.
Like
What?
nobody.
Sis?
Like no matter how old you are. Because you know he kidnapping 35-year-old bitches too. The most-
He didn't kidnap them now.
look, yo.
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
He's done enough shit to be guilty of.
I would step on this. I would be stepping on here for hours waiting for him. And I was waiting like, she did all that build up. Like, in this room, there was so much trauma. I can't even walk in my own room. And then I had to escape. And I'm like, ooh, shit. It's finna be some John Wick shit, nigga. She finna jump out the window. The security finna start shooting at her. She gonna have to roll over a bush, get in an escape car, wave somebody down. She said, and then I walked downstairs and walked out.
I packed my bags and I walked
I'm
up.
leaving, Robert. When a woman's fed, I'm loud. Like, and then she just walked out the front door. Like, you could have been gone, my G. What?
And then the other one said, I got to the airport. Kitty Jones said, I got to the airport and kept calling it. I just wanted him to answer the phone. You were not kidnapped, woman.
Yeah. So
I mean, I understand Stockholm.
Yeah.
And I understand all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I just, come on.
I'm not saying that they are not abuse victims. They are. What I am saying, what took me was the fact that your own poor moral compass led you to be an abuse victim. The fact that you didn't care about the 13-year-old girl, 14-year-old girl that he was peeing on in that video.
I didn't even see the video.
The fact that you didn't care about her.
I didn't see the video.
That's what had
She the
you
one person in America that's seen the
floor
girl
of a
before that she
chicken.
seen the video.
I work in radio where it's literally my
Like,
job
that's
to
what
be
had
up
you
on these
sliding that
things,
tin
but I
cup
didn't see the
across
video.
the room for a drink of water because you didn't give a fuck about her. So think about that.
Ill shit is you got there and then she trained your ass. You found the fuck out that was her in that video because she was the trainer. That's the sick shit. She's still with this nigga.
I believe she is. They didn't say that, but that was what I came to too.
Come on, man. Talking about this women that been with this nigga for 15 years. I could do math.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh,
I
knew that she was the girl from the video." Here's what kills me: everybody acts like that video is so unclear and you couldn't tell who she was. But then all these bitches, once they seen her, 12 years later, was like, "That's her from the video."
That's some sick shit, right? Like y'all made out her face well enough to be able to see 15 years of progression in her features.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, like,
All right.
okay,
All right.
Wow.
Cool.
okay.
Anyway, just as women, like, I just feel like Kitty and Asante, like, they did not deserve to be treated that way, but they certainly should be looking long and hard at themselves about how they felt about young girls and women prior to that. Asante talking about she was putting people out her house for talking bad about R. Kelly before she ever even smelt this nigga's dirty dick. And I want to understand why, as a black woman, you were doing that. Like, I want you to understand so that this can never happen again.
As any
Like,
fucking person, I don't. As a purple person, why? are you
I'm
doing
saying
that?
like.
But I don't know. It's just something, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah,
were a little black
as-
girl. There just should be something in you that's like, nah.
Your black woman instinct should be stronger than that. Your black woman instinct should be way stronger than that.
No, just your eyesight and your
yeah,
ears.
like,
Like,
that
you
instinct
looking
as
at a video
person, dog,
and
like,
see this happening. There's nothing about that little girl that looks like an adult in that video. Nothing. That should bother you enough that you don't got nothing for R. Kelly.
Yeah.
But instead, you was putting motherfuckers out your house and excited to go be with him. Like, that's a problem with you as a person. And I'm sorry that you were abused, but I'm also sorry that you weren't a decent human being from the start.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
know.
understand that blind dedication to this man. Like, and I understand like everybody stepped in the name of love and like all that, but some of this shit is just like.
I'm from California. We crip walk. We don't even step out here hard enough for y'all niggas be talking about
It
y'all
just don't
love
knock
stepping
that
in.
hard. I can
Like
tell you
Midwest
that,
niggas
like,
we from the West Coast. Y'all crip walk
Step in
and,
the name
and
of
jerk
love
and
don't
do
knock
a
that
whole
hard.
bunch of other shit before y'all niggas don't even know how to step. Some of y'all don't even know the
It
cha cha
don't-
slide.
it
Like
don't
I'm not
knock that
finna act
hard.
like you niggas is steppers to be talking about step in the name of love. Ain't gonna go no fuck that nigga.
And if you like to step, it's mad step songs that go a lot harder than Step in the Name of Love. That's like the
That's stepping 101.
hokey pokey of
Yeah.
step music. So keep him and keep that. I don't care.
Y'all step into a song where the nigga shouted out a nigga who daughter he raping. The nigga shot out the guitar player. Y'all go back and listen. The nigga shots out the nigga who. Y'all niggas don't
The
get the
nigga
fuck
who
out of
played the guitar, who is Sparkle's brother, who's the father of her niece from the video.
Jesus.
Like, it's just all depraved.
That's some gross ass shit. So like, how everybody's like, like mute R. Kelly and this, that, and the third, which I don't really have any problems with. Not because I don't know. Like I realized
R.
I
Kelly
don't-
music didn't ring off like that to me. From
Well, yeah,
jump,
like I'm
though.
like I personally didn't like his songs were good, but like I didn't like he's not in my like 100% rotation all the time. So I'm not even on like it didn't really rub me super on to mute R. Kelly because like I just was like
I didn't
don't
listen
play
to
him a
R.
lot.
Kelly. Yeah, I didn't listen to R. Kelly, my nigga. I never had no R. Kelly days.
But are you getting on like the? Because I'm like if everybody's muting R. Kelly, are we gonna like mute Harvey and like who's the other weird? I never remember this motherfucking name. The Woody nigga who
Allen,
fucking
Allen.
his own
Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley.
Yeah, like, and this is not like a because only thing I don't like about this argument is everybody who uses it is using it as a defense. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just wondering, like, should mute all these motherfuckers? Like, I don't really,
We should.
Yeah,
Everybody
without
I
a doubt.
listen to
Like
on a daily
I'm
basis, I
not,
don't really know, like-
I'm not against it. Like, don't get me wrong. And again, like I'm a person that comes to these intersections with like my morality and my entertainment all the time. Like, I claim my spirit animal is Dr. Dre. This man he slapped D Barnes, like he was charged with that. So it's like, yeah, of course, I run into these intersections all the time myself, like, and I seriously consider that. Like even Def Jam, Russell Simmons married Kimora when she was 17. Like these are dated or whatever. Like these are people that to watch the Seinfeld show. Jerry Seinfeld had a young girlfriend. Like these are things that are very aware of. Like it's I have out of sight, out of mind moments. Like it's one of those type of things because that's such a dirty thing. The thought of it is not in the front of my mind. Like it's stored away in a place that like we're only going there if we have to. And so I guess when I'm watching these comedies or I'm listening to these people's music or I'm watching a seminar where they're talking, like that thought is still locked away in a very serious place that's not close to entertainment. So it's not the first intersection that is crossed when I'm thinking of these people, unfortunately. But at the same time, it should be. And that is something that, like, starting with R. Kelly, like, definitely trying to make a conscious effort more so to not fund these people. Because, like, with the mute R. Kelly thing, we have to understand that muting R. Kelly meant Spotify taking him off the playlist. He stops getting spins. He stops making money to have the ability to pay for his Atlanta mansion that got foreclosed on, which a lot of these young ladies stayed in. The Chicago studio that is now being he has back payments on. He's getting evicted out of. He has 2 weeks to get out of. That comes from not having revenue, canceling his shows, him not being able to have money. So yeah, of course, like I definitely want to keep in mind to stop giving to these people who have done this or who do this. Like, but it's just unfortunate that I myself, like many others, it's not always the first intersection that I cross with my entertainment.
We all have problematic faves. That's just the truth. Now, I think that's a personal thing when you have to decide, like, what's going to be your boundary. When are you going to say, I just can't give you support if that's who you are as a person. I don't care how much I like your music or how much I like your movies. There's just something about that as a person don't sit right with me. I'm not going to dictate what that is for anybody because I'm still dictating for myself. Hell, I remember when I first started to have any kind of thinking about the way that women are represented in hip hop, how that was conflicting for me for a minute. Like, damn, I love the worst, and I love the worst of rap music. Like, I love.
What was that Chris Rock?
I'm the hot.
Slap her with a dick. 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 Kiss on me. He ain't talking about me. He ain't talking about me. Slap her with a dick. Slap her with a dick.
And that for real. I remember that skit. And you think about that, like, damn. I remember I read When Chicken Heads Come Home to Roost, which is a book sort of about like black women, hip hop heads, and like how you have to reckon with that at some point in your life. And I just decided that I was gonna like rap music regardless, because that's just the truth about me. So that's the truth about me. Like I could never be mad at another woman for telling the truth about me either. So if I was sitting across from a woman that was like, you like things that degrade you, I would be like, right, because that's the truth about me. Like it's not a proud truth, but it is a truth.
I mean, I think it's I don't know. I guess it's a matter of opinion. Like, and that's my thing is like what's degrading to you is not degrading to me. That's a reality for a lot of people. It's like I don't know. I have a hard time with that. I guess that's
degrading, but I agree that it's degrading. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like I agree that that's degrading, but I agree that I like it. Like I don't know. Like, I can't give me a really disrespectful rap lyric.
The whole Blowjob Betty song by Too Short.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't.
Freaky Tales by Too Short. Since I'm on Too Short.
So I can't argue that any of that is somehow respectful to women. I can't. But I like it. So, I don't know. That's a different podcast for a different day.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from there. I mean, I guess, yeah. I'm not a woman. I'm going to leave that right there to the woman on the podcast.
Yeah, like she
yeah.
kind of covered
but,
that. there's still things happening
Yeah.
in life.
There's good things. Centonia Brown happened.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I was happy about that.
Definitely happy that
I
made my
like the
day.
whole thing still pissed me off because it's like
I mean, in reality, it's still back to another issue of
Like, bruh.
sexual assault of black women. You gave me an interesting statistic the other day where it was like between 60 and 70% of black women that are locked up for violent crimes towards people are a lot of times those violent crimes are acts of self-defense against abusers.
Yeah. They were saying like how no one tracks the data, so you can't have an exact number, but there is just basically statisticians believe that the number of women that are in Centonia Brown's same situation is incredibly high, where they reacted in violence because they had no other choice in the situation, and unfortunately that put them behind bars wrongfully, but yeah.
Yeah.
that's gross. Like I'd like not to be like I don't have any like real profound thing to say about that. You try to rape somebody and she pop your ass. Good for you.
Yeah, like that's just that, but like it's shameful just the like that young lady's been locked up for like 16 years. That is ridiculous. And the fact that I killed someone who bought me. It didn't matter what they bought me for. Like you bought me, motherfucker. Like the idea that someone has to
A slave killed a master.
Yeah. And I don't like I don't want to correlate that to anything else. I don't want to try to make that like that it is what it is. Like a slave killed her master, and that like we can all read between the lines with that. Ironically, I think that's why maybe the system was so just I don't know. Maybe that's just a whole fucked up thing. That's disgusting to me. I don't know, and I really don't have nothing for that more than that. Like I celebrate that young lady. She is amazing. I hope August gets here so fast, and I hope she is like.
I guess the light at the end of the tunnel.
Like a GoFundMe for that woman or something to establish her life and get acclimated to normacy.
I hope so.
Like, please, I just wish so many blessings for her.
The light at the end of the tunnel for me, or a light that I can kind of see, is that most legal analysts have said that because so much has changed since the time where she was convicted, like the language of human trafficking wasn't even a thing when she was convicted, that now if she had been tried today for that very same case, the outcome would be completely different, just because the language in law now is so different surrounding that, because of the work that so many people have done around human trafficking and bringing to light that America has a problem with human trafficking and selling young girls and boys into being sex slaves pretty much from childhood, So that's a positive thing to me, to know that some good has happened over the years, and that women and boys that find themselves in this situation can have a better outcome than she got. Because, that shit is just wrong on every level.
100%.
Yeah, no, I think that like, I don't know, when I think about it, like that shit just bugs me, because you think of like people now as like, we're progressive, we got like technology and electric cars and all this other shit. But to have human trafficking is like if you think about that shit, just like compared to shit, that's medieval level evil, bro. Like that's like, and they look like in 1642 they had like such and such a torture device. That's in the same vein, nigga. Like niggas is evil, and I just like that, like it. I mean, you could make like understand where that shit comes from, but it's like, bro, that's not like it's bad. That's not. He was in a different. That's an evil motherfucker. Like,
yeah, you a whole disgusting son of a bitch.
Yeah, that shit's just
to go to like want to buy somebody. Like you a whole disgusting motherfucker. Like to walk up and sit there like, how much? Huh? Do a circle. Like that. That's a disgusting fucking act. Like that is some shit that is just like terrible. Disgusting fucking act again. I don't know. I guess it's just gonna be a heavy ass episode, because something else that happened. Like I guess if you're in California, it may be more prevalent news to you. But a gentleman by the name of Ed Buck,
sick nigga.
The Ed Buck.
Ed Buck is a activist and major contributor to the Democratic Party, and a second dead person has been found at this man's house. 2 dead people within the last 18 months.
Another dead black man, right?
Yeah. The first one was actually a young gay black male who may or may not have been a sex worker. Like I'm not here to allege that. I'm not 100% on that. Like rest in peace to that young man. But yeah, Ed Buck, he was found at Ed Buck's house, death via overdose in his West Hollywood home. Ed Buck was present when it is known that Ed Buck was present when that young man died. And now a second victim has been found at his house, a 50-year-old black male in his 50s, believed to be gay as well. Yeah.
Something's going on.
You don't say. Like,
I'm not the Pink Panther or nobody.
You don't say, Johnson.
But something's going on.
And our guest this week, Sherlock Holmes.
I do. Shit, boy.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Lightweight Bruce Wayne,
right?
Good
job,
like
Watson.
That's how the police approach it. Like,
No, yeah, we're saying.
Something's going on.
No, trust me. We
Things
are
are
with
happening
you in the
over
irony
here.
of that. Yeah, like
What?
if it like
And cops walked in there like jinkies, man. I found a clue. You know, like
walked in there and see
fuck is
that
wrong with
Raggy.
y'all, bro?
Jeez,
It's
Shaggy.
a second dead body in here. Fucking mystery machine pulled up in West Hollywood for that shit. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, I feel like
They're waiting for a third one so they can be like, maybe there's a pattern
Yeah,
that
bro,
we're
shit's-
missing.
That's evil shit. Like,
where's the niggas that? Where's Miss Mason? Where's Miss Mason?
Where's my boy from Criminal Minds? What's
Yeah,
his
no,
name?
fuck that. Get Miss Mason 48, first 48, nigga. She put a nigga in that room. Put Ed Buck in that room, Miss Mason. Get that nigga. She get that nigga that cigarette, and she will know all the details in 37 minutes.
I don't know. It's just
The fuck out of here.
this shit really like. It's not anything new, but it just is bothersome that like, okay, it's niggas lives who have been ruined behind bars off of less than my thumb's worth of weed. But it's niggas out here like sexual predators doesn't do it enough, and they're living their lives like they're just out here. In everybody looks at prison like prison is the worst place ever, like where the worst of the worst go. In there, I've never been, but I've watched a lot of I watched The Wire. I watch Law and Order people. So
I had HBO when
I had HBO. I still got HBO. Like in the worst of the worst place where a nigga like I could walk up to a nigga and be like, yeah, man, I murdered like all them niggas, man. They'd be like on the set, cuz that shit was amazing. Nigga comes in, I did a little bit of rape. They're like killing.
First off, there's no such thing as a little bit of rape. Like that's
how a rapist would put
That's
it.
how a rapist
That's
like
how a
when a rapist
rapist
walks
would
in.
put it.
just a little. They
It's a little
no
rape.
rapists. I don't know any rapists, but I just feel like rapists. Like they charged me
You know
with
some
like.
rapists.
Bro,
Trust
like
me.
no, I don't. Go
Trust
through.
Because I think that's part of the problem is we make rapists the boogeyman. No, the rapist is your homeboy, my nigga. Ask a question or two and
That's
find
a point.
out. Not y'all specifically. I'm just saying that it's not.
I was
some
just about to say
scary
because if
man.
you know any of my homeboys that's out here
Not-
raping, we going to their
not
house
you guys
tonight. So
specifically.
Well, yeah.
I'm
We
just
gon-
saying,
we gon'
like,
nip this in
I
the
think
bud
that
tonight.
that does everybody.
That's another place I was
that
going.
does everybody.
No,
a
without a doubt. Like I
disservice when
completely
you
understand
make
what
it
you're
some
saying.
scary
What I
person.
say is that I have such a outward stance against that. Like even anything that comes even remotely close to it, I let anybody that's close to me know, like, bro, that's not cool. Don't do that again. You need to like apologize. Like you need to go get you some help. Whatever the situation is. So that's why I feel slightly comfortable. Like now, don't get me wrong. It may be some people that's doing it and just not telling me because they know my stance on it. Of course, that's a possibility. One, I completely, with what you're saying, that may be possible. For me, I just know, even for myself and for TJ, like I know for a fact that there's been actual physical actions that have happened behind our stances for this. So, like I try to make that a known thing. Like you can't be around me. Like you can't even. I don't let people buy women too many drinks around me. She had too many drinks. You fucked up. You wasted your money. Like you shouldn't have did that.
Yeah, like
that's
I don't know. That's my understand. That's my thing. Like not even just like the boogeyman, but like motherfuckers get up there and talk about like he's destroying the community and he's they're real like monsters. And I'm like, okay, that's whatever your opinion is, but these motherfuckers, everybody turns around like he's sick, he's whatever. No man, that's a fucking monster. That's a disgusting motherfucker. Like I don't. And this is not even nothing to do with. I'm not even putting this on. Everybody goes, I got a daughter, I got a sister, I got a mom. I'm a decent fucking person.
Yes.
I got common
and that
sense,
shit's
motherfucker.
fucking wrong, bro. Like,
no.
there's no way. Like, there's no
a nigga
way.
with no females, a nigga with no women around him.
That
It's just like,
bothers me so bad.
I mean, I
because
don't really
that
see what
just
he doing
says,
wrong. No,
I
nigga,
didn't
you
see a
can
problem
be a nigga
until
with.
I had a girl that I loved myself. Like,
'Cause
no.
There's never.
I understand certain shit on that spectrum, but I really hope that's not one. I understand like the shit you was talking about earlier. Like, man, I used to listen to a lot of Too Short till I had a daughter. Like that, I can understand that. Like, but if you just like, man, I used to be cool with sexual assault, man, until I met my real mother. Like, what the fuck?
There's never a justification for that. Like,
don't
okay,
understand.
like you said, like I'm mad. I just forgot her name. I pronounced it wrong. Like Brown. We just talked about Centonia Brown. You can find a justification for murder. You were trying to take my life. You were trying to take the life of my family. I'm gonna get you up out of here. You can understand robbing somebody. I'm fucking starving. I need to whatever.
Yeah.
There's no justification for rape. Like,
No.
you don't want to give me no pussy. Let me punch you and like that's some wild shit. And I don't understand why that's not at the top of the
Jail is for rapists and murderers.
Bro.
Jail should be for rapists and murderers.
You gotta skip jail. You could just.
No. I'm saying if we're gonna do anything where we're locking motherfuckers up, like the jail, like when I say like the system, like we know the system of jail as this, like the jungle of like, that's for rapists and murderers. Like that is that. Like everybody else needs to have a rehabilitation place. Like you sold some weed.
Yeah, even murder. What kind of murder?
No, yeah, I'm saying murder. Now I'm saying like the self-defense, those things. Murder, like you a murderer, like you a murderer, you need to go to jail. Like you a rapist, you need to go to jail. Like
see, that's like on what you were saying earlier. That's why
you a drug dealer, you need to go to rehab and then business school.
You should have, you should
Take some
get,
finance classes.
Yeah, lock this nigga up at the University of Purdue and let this nigga get
some opportunities.
Yeah. What the fuck?
know?
That's what opportunity.
You should we should stop maybe a little less Batman, a little more Bruce Wayne. How about you build some fucking businesses, Bruce, instead of punching people in the face because they stole the TV.
I feel like if a nigga run a whole drug enterprise, you should go make him do an internship. Like you got to work for free.
Put that nigga on Shark Tank.
Like yeah,
put that nigga on Shark Tank.
So you got big ideas.
He got big ideas, huh? Tell him to Mark Cuban. Pusher man.
Let me go up here and tell Mark how I turned 10 into 50. Like what?
Exactly.
Shit.
That's why I say I feel like you should have to do an internship. I feel like if you ran a drug enterprise, if you were a non-violent drug offender, if you was just a nice weed dealer, you gave 3.8 on your ACE, like you was just a good weed dealer. I feel like, man, you should just have to go do an internship. Like you just got to go work for no money for a little while. Like that's really the reality of it for me. If you a rapist and a murderer, you should go to jail. That's what I mean. Like when I separate things.
That shit. I don't know. That shit bugs me. Like I said, I like to keep everybody
shit in perspective.
Keep all the parties accountable too, because I'm like, as college students in what is like worldwide known as at one time in college, like you get your wildest shit off in those.
If you get a chance to do
So in that mindset, like, cause all of us was in.
You want to know who a motherfucker is? Actually, about his college days.
College was amazing. In the middle of, this is where I feel like I can hold people accountable for this. In the middle of a party, we are all we've had a lot of booze. An individual.
Niggas didn't even know if this is I didn't know if this shit was a joke or not. Like, but we just we don't play like that.
And I'm not even saying like homegirl, like newer, passes out, she's doing her little drunk thing. I hear a nigga walk up, like it's me, and shout out to the homie, shout out to my brother Eugene. Walk up and he's like, hey, my man.
Okay.
Hey, buddy. What you doing? What you doing, buddy? Hey, pal. Nigga looked me dead in the face and was like, you know how it is, dog. You know I be molesting these hoes. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have to. And we're outnumbered. I'm like, I guess I got to fight a bunch of niggas. You grab her and put her in the car. So, like, when I see, like, and we went, and I remember us grabbing her homegirls. You all have to go.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So, like, I just don't understand, like, when shit like this happens, it's like, okay, there is accidents, or there's times where a predator, like, he caught you alone, but there are certain moments where I'm like, it's a whole community.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
this nigga out the gym.
Yeah.
And that be the point that, like, to the idea of that the rapists have to, like, the idea that rapists have to be the boogeyman. That's where I know, like, rapists don't have to be the boogeyman, because this nigga was some women's favorite nigga. Like, the nigga we specifically talking about in the story. Like, so we know you don't have to be a boogeyman. You don't even have to be a nigga who has a hard time getting women. You just have to be a sick motherfucker.
Yes.
Like, so yeah, like, without a doubt. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Like, that's it.
Like, yeah, and I just feel like the shit is just going too far. Like, even if you watch, just like it's been rapid. Like, I don't know. Like, it has to be a huge problem because you watch this shit like back in the day, like Corey Feldman and that shit, like the Corey and Corey show. Like, they were like like. I don't know. It's just so much shit that if you take a small delve into into Hollywood, that you like just a little dive, just a little, just a little, like
Put your toe in the
just
water.
put your toe in the fucking water. Like, you ain't even gotta dive in that shit. You could like walk in the water and then just put your head under for a little while, and you'll see how much bullshit in Hollywood is really there in regards to the pedophilia shit. Like, that shit runs, like the story of motherfucking child actors talking about like, yeah, it used to be a whole child party place where we would go and the Hollywood execs will be there picking out kids from this like party. And you'd be like, yo, like even fucking Kevin Spacey, we fucking House of Cards.
Yeah, because the thing is, pedophilia is rampant in society, period. And now you got a bunch of pedophiles with more money and resources than they know what to do with.
Yeah.
Some sick shit gonna happen.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Like,
yeah, unfortunately.
it's
like, that shit is just fucking terrible to
the
me.
sick shit is all the people that sit around and are aware.
And even the
and
ironic shit
nothing.
that you was telling me about the guy who's the head of Lifetime or some shit. Even
Like, yeah, I gotta check my facts, but it was something that, like, I was having a conversation with somebody, and it was something about like some CEO or like the head of one of these TV stations is like in the midst of something himself. If people know the facts on that, then maybe like. But that was a conversation I had the other day, and I just was like, I didn't even get deep into it. I just was like, it's like this shit is just
Too much.
It's just like sick shit, and it's.
yeah, like shit fucked me up with the Me Too movement. Like when Me Too and all these women were coming forth, Matt Lauer and all these different people were like getting accused. I did not like. I was like taken aback by that. But then like when it was like not only that, it's like y'all just like grown ass women, young ass women, like gay men, gay kids, like y'all just
sick, gross power shit.
like, dog, this shit is wow. Like, not on no funny shit. It's really like hide your kids, hide your wives, because they are like,
wow,
they out here raping everybody.
More appropriate.
Hide your kids.
He knew
they out here raping everybody out here.
He
Like that
so
shit
right.
is not funny, but
He
it
was so
it
right.
applies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
niggas.
So right.
Hide your
What was
kids,
his
hide your
name? 'Cause
fucking
he was
wives.
fucking
I
right.
don't remember.
Shit.
I remember that
They
video.
out here raping everybody.
Out here raping everybody. Even fucking Robert asked the idea that he made that young girl Dominique fucking dress up as a young boy all the fucking time. Why? Why the fuck is you making that young? Like you just sick in a bunch of different fucking ways.
The voiceover person talking about, or what is the manipulated voice with the blur? She talking about he make her wear a beard and a mustache.
And what were you doing?
What?
Somebody
Why?
should have came through and just beat the fuck out of her and took her to jail.
She knows she going directly to jail because she done got
Bruh.
herself blurred out and
Yeah,
everything
she
else.
knew.
You, ma'am,
She was like, I worked for that nigga 18 months ago. I ain't even think about statute of limitations. Blur my shit.
ma'am.
Even like they got his manager. They said
You're
today his
going
manager
to
got
jail.
charged with attempted murder. I mean, excuse me, not attempted murder. Like
What happened?
I was like, yo, these are really.
he got charged for making threats against. He made a threat
Yeah,
that he
against
would kill Jocelyn
Savage.
Savage's.
I
Because
just
we know
want-
Jocelyn Savage family was calling like, nigga, the checks stop coming. He's bitch, I kill you. You call me again about them checks. Like that's what
I'm glad
that
that
conversation went
'cause
like.
some of
That's
these
what
things
that
I
was
just
like,
want
y'all was-
people
they
to
was
get
selling.
charged for stuff that we can
Oh,
prove.
no,
to
they
be-
was-
Find my daughter, and I just didn't understand why we had an agreement on paper that I was going to do
that he was
I
gonna help my daughter, and we was
And I
gonna.
had told my daughter like,
let
Daddy been
him.
working and his back hurt, so you got to do this for the family. You know, just rub his back a little bit. Get him, you know, be his what that thing they call a muse. Be his muse.
Be his muse.
thing. You know,
Muse.
I'm not giving nobody no pass, man.
Nah,
Like,
but for real.
yeah.
My concern is that they're doing all of these, like now they're gonna start going after people that work for him or whatever. But I want them to go after them for provable shit. Like,
I think that's going to be how you end up getting him, though. I think you have to charge the people around him because those are going to be the people that are eventually going to come forth and snitch on R. Kelly. Like
right,
just like they're giving it up.
Go after them for provable shit,
like
real shit that they're like.
I don't even
actually have a case against.
But they gonna admit it. He did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't even have to go at them for provable shit. You just got to put them in a room. They gonna give you the provable shit. Give me everything you know. Let me sift through it, and I'll be able to find a charge in this.
Gonna be the first 48 seconds.
I just have so little trust. I have so little trust in the judicial system and law enforcement that I'm like,
we gonna call this the remix.
See.
Well, it's okay because in a minute we're gonna be able to get them ourselves because the purge gonna happen because old Cheeto boy not gonna give you all the tax.
Cheeto boy. Wow.
Nah, they said the tax money. They gonna get the tax money. They said they gonna get the tax money.
We are.
Yeah, he said they gonna get them taxes. They gonna get them taxes.
All right.
Nah, cause some niggas owe me some money, so y'all better get them taxes, nigga. Couple niggas ain't paid they debts, nigga.
You said that like he left you a voicemail.
Nah, nigga.
He tweeted.
Yeah, nigga.
I sent him a DM.
I hollered at my folk, nigga. They said, niggas still gonna get them taxes. So those that owe me money, that been saying they gonna pay me when they get their taxes. Nah, nigga, Donald ain't shut that shit down. I'ma see you. See you for April. See you for April.
I hope so.
Yeah, damn.
So I don't know what the hell is going on.
But I know food stamps finna, man. You gonna have to. The niggas about to start making niggas pay for like food stamps.
They said they still getting them.
They still getting them stamps?
Yeah,
they still getting them stamps. Okay, now. Yeah, just make sure.
I don't know what exactly is going on. They said I read that TSA employees are calling off at record.
TSA is now playing. TSA
like,
niggas is using them sick days. That is true. I seen that.
The EPA workers are gonna do
everybody gonna have E. coli.
An agency-wide sick day where no one's gonna show up to work.
Nigga, like this is the time to travel with your shit. You need to strap them bricks to your stomach. Get in the airport. Goddamn it, them niggas.
No, my sister works at the airport. She was saying it's mad slow. She works at for Delta.
That's why I say, nigga, they gonna end up. Hey, look, man. Strap them bricks up.
They better get it together.
If I
was a cop, I'd be stretching. Them niggas don't have a face like David Allen Greer and Jumanji. Just fucking shook.
Hey,
this is the second longest.
I wouldn't even be flying right now
in U.S. history.
Yeah,
right now. Second longest.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't be flying right now because I wouldn't feel safe. I would feel like, nigga, getting on a plane right now feel like getting on the metro. You be like, you know somebody, and this motherfucker got something.
Something's going on.
Like, you sit next to a nigga talking to himself like, how you get on
planes right now?
Something's happening.
Yeah, nigga,
look, it's so much drugs on planes right now. They put it up their ass because you just can't get no cargo space. Like it's whole top. You got a bag. I came in. It's all these bricks up here. Nobody checking me for nothing.
Nigga got an overhead storage full of Percocet.
Man, look.
At a Percocet suitcase.
Yeah,
it's going down right now in the goddamn airlines. I can only imagine. I really wouldn't feel safe flying right now.
No.
If it's cheap.
Hell no.
If it's cheap, I might take a chance.
The airline's like, man, we got to get niggas in this bitch, man. Drop them prices. United looking like Spirit right now.
This nigga's own Spirit.
I'm like, I could get on Delta for 148.
Just full of bricks. Like,
yeah.
Hey, it's taken, bro.
Well, you don't even get chairs on Spirit. You know, they only got standing rooms. They standing room only flights on Spirit. Nigga be sitting up there like he on a bar. Look like a New York subway.
You
nigga
remember those rides at the carnival where you just stick to the wall?
Exactly.
Is that how it is on Spirit?
Fuck.
Nigga come strap you into the, put your hands across your chest. You be like, bitch, how I get my in-flight peanuts like this? Shit don't work. Nah, that's how Spirit work. Every airlines is right now. United, like, man, we just finished whooping people ass. Now we got to drop prices again. Like, it's a tough thing. Donald ass tweeting. He said, I go in the room with them. They don't want to give me the wall. He said, I said, bye-bye.
Damn, United do be.
Did he say that? Every time
the nigga tweeted that today.
Shit, I always have to ask.
Did he say
that because it's very possible?
The nigga tweeted the fucking tweet. He says, fuck that. I'm gonna find the tweet and read the shit verbatim. Goddamn it.
Donald a real life meme. Like
who? Donald?
He's
man, Donald.
Wild as fuck.
Look, boy.
Me.
Let me tell you something.
To me.
Let me tell you something.
I always think
I don't
like.
understand.
Like I always think like if like the countries are just like. You know, just people sitting in like little rooms. Like they gotta be looking at us. Like, y'all see this shit they doing over there?
Who? Donald better watch out. They just freed the nigga that shot Reagan. That's all I'm saying. The nigga that shot Reagan, they just freed him. Goddamn it, he fucked up the first time, but the nigga, you know, you can't get it wrong twice.
You fool me once.
You fool me once. Goddamn it,
can't fool me again.
Come in here, fool me, can't get food again. Shit.
Well, I just feel like if I went to if I flew to another country right now, like they would laugh at me the whole from like landing in the terminal.
No, they are.
Like they would just laugh like I got shit in my pants. Like
no.
He's a fuck. Look at him. He's a fucking American.
I don't know how hard they'll laugh now, but they laughed at niggas when we first got Trump. We was out.
How
was
it over there
so
dealing with the Donald?
Yeah, we went on vacation just after he got inaugurated.
Yeah, remember all that shit you talked about Brexit, mate? Yeah,
right.
Yeah, as with the fucking Donald.
Nigga said your president is the you fired guy. You guys got a hotel boy as president, right? Yeah, he's got a hotel where I'm from. He's your president, right? Yeah, that's nice. His hotel sucks. How's this country?
Hey, is America great again now? Is it? Is it great?
Right.
Yeah.
The tweet was, just left a meeting with Chuck and Nancy. A total waste of time. I asked what is going to happen in 30 days if I quickly open things up. Are you going to approve border security, which includes a wall or steel barrier? Nancy said no. I said bye-bye. Nothing else works.
Like, I said bye-bye.
Why are we getting information about national security
via
on
tweets?
Twitter?
You know what we got from Obama via Twitter? Holiday wishes. Like, have a happy holiday.
He suggested books for us to read. Like,
yeah, man.
What is wrong with you?
Like, Obama told his intern, who's in control of his social media, to like, this is the things I like. Oh, he know him enough to say what he wanted to say. I know Donald pulls his phone out of his pocket and does this shit in the Oval Office. Like, we're important. All of the important things are supposed to happen in this fucking building. And that nigga's like, you know what?
Yeah,
Here you go. I know he goes and he like looks at tweets and then he like gets mad that Tumblr is not like showing buttholes and titties anymore. Like he scrolls through like, there's a national yeah, I got it.
Little
I was just looking at the
hands.
emails. I was just checking what you said.
Yeah, no, Donald Trump without a doubt watches porn on the White House Wi-Fi, and the IT team from the White House had to go, Mr. Trump, you're taking up all the bandwidth on gayporn.com. I believe that. Nobody's on gay porn. I watch the very best porn there is. Nobody knows porn better than me. I mean, I know porn. Fucking Donald
Me and that
Trump.
nigga have to fight about that. All right. Look.
They showed a video of him like, first off, I hated his fake outrage at the senator who said impeach the motherfucker, and then they went back through like she's a terrible American and she should be ashamed. Her son should be ashamed. Her family should be ashamed. And I'm ashamed. Ivanka's ashamed. Ivanka, aren't you ashamed? She's ashamed. Americans everywhere are ashamed. Americans and Africans are just, everyone's ashamed. Motherfucker ran his clips. This nigga had like 5 minutes of just profane, like not even full statements, just like the beginning and where he would like curse and then it would cut off. It was like 5 minutes of that shit.
What?
And I'm like, this shit not even just, it's like the campaign trail. Shit was like from golf courses. It was like from like random shit, like his tweets.
What irritated
like,
me most about that,
ridiculous.
I remember seeing that on The View, and they were talking about how, like, oh, we want people across the aisle, both Democrats and Republicans, to not stoop to Trump's level and to not be making speeches with profanity. Y'all are conflating shit, because him saying that Haiti and all of the other countries are shithole countries is offensive, period. If he wouldn't have used shithole, if he would have said garbage can, that shit would still be offensive. Motherfucker is not the same thing.
That
like,
is
we have an issue with
impeach the motherfucker and shithole countries.
Saying
no,
that's not the same.
No,
I was stuck at
sorry.
Don't stoop to my president.
You're supposed to my president,
bro. Like you're supposed to be.
Don't stoop to my president. Like
commander in chief. Don't stoop to that guy. Like you let him be. What?
You don't stoop to my president. That's.
Don't stoop to your president's level. Be bigger than him.
Y'all missing the whole
There's
point.
So many
it's
more
not
people.
the curse word that's the problem. It's the shit that he's saying. Like, it's offensive to call other countries full of good people shithole places. That's offensive, period. It ain't the shit I got a problem with.
Right?
He could have said butthole. It would still be offensive.
That would have been even more offensive than the actual
like,
shithole. That means you telling me these countries produce all the shit in the world, right? They the butthole countries.
Her
Got
saying
it.
motherfucker is not
the country
offensive.
with playground insults.
Yeah.
Ugh. I think the whole country just should scram.
Right?
Fuck you.
The whole country scram. Fucking Trump.
But I loved that, like, CBS News had posted that Samuel L. Jackson endorsed the Congresswoman.
Oh, yeah.
Who was it?
They said motherfucker.
Yeah, the representative that said motherfucker, and everybody was like, well, there's the authority right there.
There it is.
I don't think
Sam
Sam
Jack.
gets credit for doing some of the best shit ever. Like, I don't know if it was like, what was it, like his birthday that just passed? And the nigga had a vest of
Come
his,
on, bruh.
That's
had
the
a
most
vest
player
of all
shit.
his movies, and then one of them ain't even came out yet. Each nigga had one of them that he was still working
Man,
on.
look,
Come on, man. What other way, if
I
you was a
already know.
director, did you want people to find out about your fucking movie other than Samuel L. Jackson? It was the only movie that hasn't come out yet that was on his vest at his 70th birthday, 60th, whatever the fuck birthday that was.
Shamalama Ding Dong took a lot of L's, boy, but I'm watching Glass.
Oh, shit.
I'm on that.
Shit.
On that.
What? I'm so excited. When I seen that, I thought it was a fake trailer. The first time I seen it,
But
I was like, yo, whoever edited
I
this
thought they was
shit
fucking-
is
yeah, I thought they was fucking
wild.
with me.
Like, and then I seen it was a real thing. I was like, oh, nigga.
I know he had to be at the house,
Nigga,
like,
nigga,
they been
nigga.
talking all that shit.
Yeah.
They was talking all
All
that
that.
shit. Like, right now, like that guy, that Shamalama Ding Dong, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you Shyamalan M. Night, nigga. Like, M. Night. Like,
Yo, I don't know. I still got to see it, though. I still got to see
you
it.
fuck this up, you need to quit movies.
He might need to quit
You
movies
need
in
to
because
quit
he's
it
found a way
all.
to fuck up some shit.
Bro, I don't want, like.
He's found a way to.
Look,
M. Night Shyamalan has found some way to make
not
some
gonna
very
lie.
lackluster,
Hey, look, I ain't
some
gonna lie.
bomb ass previews. You'd be like, if he made
Damn
3-minute
right.
movies,
Some
Look,
bomb ass previews.
Nah, look, I'm a
Damn
full-fledged
right.
adult, and I'm still not healed off Avatar, okay? He fucked that
Avatar
up.
was so bad.
Look. They called
In
that boy.
long,
They called that boy Ong the whole movie.
Avatar was bad.
That shit
in
was
long,
no,
long
no,
and
it
bad.
was like bad.
Avatar was bad.
Nah, man,
I
like,
spent
if
the
I-
whole
if I
time
go in
waiting
here-
for it
if
to
I
get
go in
good.
here and I like,
But I
You
thought
know-
Avatar was James Cameron.
no. I'm talking about like the cartoon movie. The shit I always be like.
Oh,
sitting
okay,
and
okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a fire ass cartoon. Like if I go in here and I like, make me a sandwich and I forget to like, put the mustard on it or whatever, that's bad. That movie was like, I don't know. That shit's like horrendous, terrible. Like get all the.
It's
big
like when you go
words.
get some bomb ass food and you get out the car and then you drop your bag.
Man.
And,
And
you
I
be
mean,
like,
not just drop
"Dawg,
the bag, like all of it.
dawg."
Like the bag opens up, the food hits the floor. It's not like, oh, this is a messy bag. Cause I
Yeah, like your shit
Yeah,
spill out. Like
yeah,
it's your last,
it-
like that last good meal you
Mhm.
have before you got to put yourself on a budget. You be like, this is my last good meal
Mhm.
before I got to start budgeting. Let
All
me
that.
enjoy. You drop it,
on the
boom.
floor.
It's that type of letdown.
It was boy.
Mm.
I don't even
That's
know. Like
tough.
I know you don't even have like a light. I was like, take his badge.
Take his
I don't
badge.
even know. Like there's a filmmaker badge. Take it away.
Kick
Like,
this
I
nigga
wanted-
out of
I wanted
SAG.
there to be
Kick
a
him out of SAG.
I wanted there to be like a ceremony where they like take the films
Out
out
of-
of his hand.
like they play the little trumpets and shit.
Yep.
They
And,
burn
like
it.
some dude comes in with like a ceremonial robe and a hammer and like crushes a fucking camera that he used. Like I wanted all that shit to happen. That was such a bad movie.
They take
please.
his little thing that clap and say action. Like they
Yes,
take that away.
yes, and they snap it into
They
like-
burn his director's chair.
M. Night.
Not my
M. Night,
director's chair.
please.
Anything but my director's chair.
M. Night, please, because I know you listen to this. Like I need you to.
Like I know you listen to this.
I know
The
you-
ill shit.
yeah, I know.
The ill shit was. I was about to.
I know M. Night fucked
I had a
up, bro.
quick
Like,
moment. A nigga had to catch himself like, cause I was gonna co-sign that. Like yeah, I know he do. Just cause it's my nigga. Just cause my nigga said it, I was finna co-sign it. I was gonna ride with my nigga. Just cause he said it so confident. Like I know you listening, bitch ass nigga. I know you listening. Like I was gonna follow it up. Just cause you my nigga.
Yeah.
That's how I know
You
you
know?
my brother. I ain't really hear what you said. I was just gonna ride with you. Then I realized M. Night. I don't think M. Night Shyamalan. My aunties don't listen to this. I know he don't.
Yeah,
Oh
bro.
shit.
That's.
God damn.
Uh,
This nigga said, I know you listening. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna end that right there. Because if
Oh.
he is,
all right, cool. Because you was gonna, I was gonna, I had another hot take just to make people angry.
let's do it.
Oh, okay. You serious?
Hell yeah.
All right, all right.
It's hot take.
Let's see how hot
All
it
right,
is.
All right, all right,
It's hot, daddy.
all right. That's fine. Well, no, Robert P. shit. So everybody, Miss Aaliyah,
Oh,
like.
Hell yeah, fuck it. Let's do this.
I'm gonna do this. Like, so
Hell
here's,
yeah.
cause like shit. And if somebody asks, like, are you doing this just to start shit? You goddamn right.
That is.
That's what y'all gonna listen to. Somebody
We started this to start conversation.
Somebody gonna hear all of this just to get this soundbite and be like, fuck him, and that's all the views I need. I mean, if Aaliyah don't die, and she like stays alive and creates and jumps out there. I'm not saying that like people don't grow to where they're gonna already grow to because they're talented, but do she get in the way of some people? Like, do she like instead of Queen Bee being like unabashedly Queen Bee, do she gotta like fight a little more for the crown? Does it hinder her takeoff a little later instead of just jumping out the gym?
She don't do shit with Beyonce. She might stop Michelle from marrying Chad, but she don't do shit to Beyonce. Bitch might stop. She might. Solange might not have dated the nigga from UCLA or something, but nigga, she definitely ain't stopping shit that's happening with Beyonce.
And that is
the motherfucking thing.
The fucking truth. Beyonce
like God bless the dead.
No
yeah, Beyonce would have been Beyonce no matter what, nigga.
Everything exceptionally. Sing, dance.
Only thing that would have stopped Beyonce from being as big as she is Tina and Miss Tina and the other nigga not meeting.
If Tina and Matthew not meeting, then we wouldn't have Beyonce. But that's about it.
That nigga fucked up, but it was like, get him out the family.
Get him out the family.
She probably get in
Richard
the way
Lawson.
Of she probably get in the way of Rihanna or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Like
she don't get in the way of.
I don't know where I thought about that, but like, yeah, I had a.
We might not get Sierra. Niggas might not get Sierra if Aaliyah's still alive.
I put her.
My goodies might just be. I don't know. My goodies might have just been hers.
But I'm just thinking like you got.
Aaliyah would have been beyond my goodies though. It would have been a lane for Sierra because Aaliyah would have already moved into grown woman.
Yeah.
So Aaliyah could have still. I mean, Sierra could have came in doing my goodies.
Because I'm thinking about like. I'm thinking about one of the first people to like, cause like Aaliyah was when R&B was quote. I think like ours like now R&B and black shit is like pop culture. So anytime you do something, that's whatever. But when like Timberlake came out and had his like NSYNC run, like Justin Timberlake. She gets to be one of the first to jump in the pop lane. She right with them.
And that's why I say I think she would have been Sierra. I think she would have been the first one to do.
That shit out,
I don't think she is Sierra. I think she does My Goodies. I think she did I Love 1 2 Step. I think like, she does that. Like that, not at those exact songs, but I think like that poppy, like that energy, that tempo.
I guess I'm going off where she left off. And she had got very grown woman R&B with I Care For You and all of that.
Rock
she had
the
moved
boat
beyond. She might have moved beyond the My Goodies and the 1 2 Stepping.
But I don't think I don't remember Aaliyah vocal range being nothing where she could have been like to me.
No, but she knew how to stay in her lane. She did her low, deep, sensual kind of music. She didn't try to. So
she would have been just a real famous Janae Aiko. Like
if Janae Aiko had some of what Aaliyah has in star power and dance and stuff, she could be bigger than she is. But Janae Aiko ain't.
Yeah, that's more.
She just want to sit on the stool and whisper to us. That's not gonna get you Aaliyah status. You gotta rock the boat, baby. You gotta be able to do something we want to see.
Yeah, I guess that was more. I was thinking like just her presence as a superstar because I think she would have had the fashion bag.
Fashion for sure.
And I think like I don't know.
Cause everybody dressing like her for all of her.
That don't mean you dress well though.
It means people think you dress well.
We're not gonna talk about that you need to dress well to blow up the fashion game.
It means people people want to copy what the fuck you're doing, and that's all that you need to sell clothes.
Dead ass. Hell, like I've you look at like what's that shit on? I don't know. Niggas out here wearing like trash bags and neon and being like that's fashion, and then like you got tennis shoes but you cut the toes off, and that like you don't gotta really know. Like you can just be whatever.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I just think I think.
Shit, even today, people are still dressing like Aaliyah. We still wearing sports bras and baggy jeans with fucking.
I'm thinking of her as like a whole superstar, not just like vocally. I just feel like.
But you don't feel like that's a part of just of the nostalgia of Aaliyah that she's not here, so it's in remembrance. Everybody wants to be like.
That's a valid point. I always say that.
I also see a nigga running through Hollywood. It's literally a nigga in Hollywood who looks just like Tupac, who was signing a petition. Like niggas want to be niggas when they die. Everybody when Tupac died, y'all niggas want to see Pac come back. Everybody want to take their shirt off. Everybody like that. Yeah, that's what happens.
The most famous rapper of the time right now has an Aaliyah tattoo, right?
Every time we talk, I just realize,
and that's what I'm saying. Like to me, that's a real like. So I think I mean that's a valid point, but I think some of that go with the like once you die, you become the greatest anything ever.
I agree. I always say that about Aaliyah and get booed out of the room. But I always say that Aaliyah is what she is because she died when she died.
I'm sure it's mad chicks out here that can't tell you a Left Eye verse, but they always dress like.
Drake really do got an Aaliyah tattoo.
No, Drake got an Aaliyah tattoo.
I'm bothered by everybody talking about how they don't. Everybody that claimed to love Aaliyah so much talking about how they don't want to talk about the Robert Kelly situation because out of respect for Aaliyah's legacy. What does that have to do with her legacy?
Well, I don't know if it's the legacy, but I seen like
that's the words they using.
Well, I mean, for Dame, I seen like when we were listening to Dame was just like, nigga, she didn't talk about it. She just said this. She just always said the dude's a bad guy. She never talked about it enough to talk about it.
No, that's talking about it to me. The fact that he's saying, honoring that it happened and that you don't need to give details of her life, business, like personal trauma that happened to her. But I'm talking about people like adamantly denying it or saying, I'm not going to even acknowledge that it happened because out of respect for her legacy. I don't understand
not yet.
What you mean by that. Because it's not, if anything, if you even said anything, that's not a stain on her. Like she was a kid. That would be what responsibility would she have in that?
Yeah, I don't understand that. That's just kind of protecting
him,
good old Robert.
Well, I don't know if it's so much that. I guess I think I don't. For me, what I can take from that is maybe just like people not even wanting to hear people do the victim blaming of deflecting from Robert and protecting Robert. Like you yourself said, like even earlier on a post, you said that you were like somebody was fucking like defending Robert Kelly and you had to like kind of be like, are you motherfuckers understanding that man forged these things? Like he create like, do you understand what he did?
The fact that people close to Aaliyah don't speak up enables that because that person's whole argument was her own mama said, y'all always want to believe the victim. Aaliyah never said it. Her own mama said that it didn't happen. So it's like, all right. I don't get it. Personally, and that's just me personally. I don't have a child that was in that position. I don't know. I'm a put my hand on the stove and say that for me, Aaliyah's parents, her mother's stance that she's taken to me is an ego thing. It's her feeling ashamed that she didn't protect her child in the way that she feels like she should, and something happened. Because she never, even with the marriage thing, like she put out that statement that the background dancer was lying about seeing Aaliyah and R. Kelly having sex, but she didn't say that that he didn't marry her fraudulently. She didn't say that.
That thing hot, daddy.
She just didn't say anything about that at all, which allows people to believe that that never happened too. But there was a whole investigation about that a long time ago. There was a whole fucking clerk from the Cooks County clerk's office that said they cannot release anybody's marriage license under 50 years old. If the marriage license is under 50 years old, they can't release it. But he can confirm that there's a marriage license on file with Robert Kelly and Aaliyah Holden and all of that. So I don't know.
That's it, man. Like, you know, that's Robert's piece of shit. A lot of people out here.
Robert's piece of shit.
Yeah, you know, people. Yeah, I don't know.
Welcome home, Centoya. I'm happy to hear you were granted. You're allowed to come home like you should have been.
I'm holding all you niggas accountable.
Ed Buck's a sick fuck.
For talking about Jacquees and those E's. But let Robert come out here. A nigga who don't even know his fucking vows did all this damage. Because
them girls is fast. That's what happened. Them girls is fast. So
right.
That and what you just said kind of harkens back to what we talked about earlier in the episode, just about the toxicity within the community of, like you said, just being so embarrassed about that you continue to turn your back to it instead of, like you said, you it's about how you respond to it if it happens, like what you respond to and how you do after that. I think like even in that situation, like I understand what Aaliyah's mother is trying to do, but you have to understand that your speaking up could have possibly stopped a lot of other, just a lot of things.
122%.
All y'all who helped enable this man is trash.
And nobody wants that responsibility, but it is what it is.
You don't wanna be, held accountable for the fact that you let a nigga who needs scratch paper to figure out if the cow goes moo ruin multiple fucking families. So.
Nigga said he need to carry a one to know if the cow go move.
You goddamn right. I'm tired of it.
Well, wait. This is. Are we done with this? Because there was the one funny part. Remember when they said that he did that interview and it was the only interview he wanted to know what people were saying?
And they said he couldn't read the comment.
He couldn't read what people were saying, so he made his assistants Google it and tell
There you
him.
go.
And they was lying about what it said.
There you go.
Do you know what a deposition is? This sounds like a deposition.
She should have asked that nigga to spell it.
That's what I
Spell
said.
it.
Killed the whole interview.
No, I would have said no. I don't. Please tell me. Like, please
nerve.
explain it. Please
Do you.
fucking explain
The nerve
what it is
of a nigga that can't read to ask somebody, do they know?
She
any
fucked up.
motherfucking
I would have. I told that nigga no. I don't. Can you please explain it to
I
me?
would've asked that
Explain
nigga,
it to
do you know
me.
what audacity is? Because you got a lot of it, illiterate motherfucker. Sitting here asking somebody, do they know a word?
Nigga say I love all my fans.
You know how dumb you gotta be for
This
motherfucker.
interview is over.
This interview is over.
She was
We
weird.
not talking no more because this interview
This
is
interview-
over. You don't even know syllables.
You-
That's how you. That's how I
Well,
know you
If I
illiterate.
asked
You don't know
to
the
write
English.
That, you would try to write two separate words.
That's what I'm saying. That got a
stupid
hyphen in.
motherfucker.
Interview got a hyphen in that nigga. Like he gonna put
He's
ENTER hyphen and yes EN.
I wish a motherfucker
Yeah, he
would.
gonna interview.
That boy slow as hell.
I wish I would live in a world where
That boy
like a
retarded.
motherfucker hit me with the Snapchat filter voice to tell people I can't read. You can't read it. Like, hey nigga, get the fuck out of my life. Get away.
Andrea
I
Kelly
knew he
said
couldn't read.
he can't read, so he ain't booking no flights. Bitch. Bitch.
Kitty was like, he told me to come or he was gonna beat me. How the fuck he gonna get there? That nigga don't know which way we going.
No, he told her to come back so he
Come
could
back.
beat her.
And that's my
Like,
thing.
Get
Is
your
like, yo,
ass back here, I'ma
what was he
fuck
gonna
you
do if
up.
he
who
didn't
booked the
come?
ticket?
And you got
Who
your
booked the
ass on a
ticket?
plane to go back and get your ass whooped, Kitty.
She's stupid if she
That
booked
nigga
her own
Robert
ticket.
would've
And
drove himself to Iowa. Like, what are you gonna do? What's he gonna really do to you?
Kitty girl.
I would have sent the nigga a text like, pick me up from this airport. He
Kitty
would have never
said She
came.
got mad at her friend.
He would've
for
just
asking
been there
her if
waiting.
She seen
Yeah,
the
bro,
tape.
like-
Don't ask me nothing like that about my boyfriend.
We an hour and 10 minutes in. I ain't talking about
Bitch.
Robert no more. We about to end this goddamn podcast.
Bitch, you're confused.
Y'all go arrest Robert. If you listen to this whole podcast, go arrest Robert.
Oh,
Rest.
a
You had-
citizen's arrest. Somebody go do a citizen's
We gave you
Yeah,
enough
bro.
evidence to go
Just
do a
walk
sit.
up to
Matter of
this
fact,
nigga.
that's what we finna go do right
Yeah.
now. We finna go citizens
Yeah.
arrest Robert Kelly. Our
I
goddamn
was like,
selves.
you're under arrest.
You got gas in the car?
Yeah, I just filled up.
Finna go arrest
You
Robert
under
real
arrest.
quick. 'Cause the police bullshitting. We finna go arrest Robert. Keep
We
this nigga in
finna
my.
lock your ass up.
We gonna unplug
Wait
my
for
granny deep freezer and throw him in there. It's gonna be his jail cell till the police finally decide they want to do something. Get Robert Kelly the fuck out of here.
Oh, that is
About to go
so
citizens
funny.
arrest this nigga. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. I'm gone. I'm about to go holler. I'm about to go arrest Robert. Bye. I'm leaving.
Bye.
I'm leaving.
Bye.